In order to be an effective disciple of Jesus, we need the authority that comes from above and the deep trust in the one who sends us. Dear friends, today the gospel passage speaks about the mission command. All the synoptic gospels have such mission command where Jesus sends his apostles into the mission. Though the words are a little different, the basic idea is the same. First, he gives them authority over the sicknesses, over the evil spirits, etc. And again, he invites them to have great trust in the one who sends them. And all the other things, don't have two tunics, two dress, or no staff, and all these things are a figurative way of saying that their great trust must be not in the external things and the possessions, but in the one who sends them for this great mission. And also in Matthew chapter 10, verse 50, the same mission command, Jesus finally adds, "You received freely, give them freely." Because Jesus knows, as humans, they are His disciples, these apostles might end up doing the great power over the illnesses, diseases, and evil spirit for their own material benefits or for their own honor and glory in the worldly level. So He cautions them, you have received freely from me, from God the Father, you give them freely. So this is a beautiful way of sending anyone on a great mission, and Jesus gives the authority over the illnesses and the evil spirits, and this authority obviously comes from God. It's not of their own credit or their own privileges or their own achievements or so, but it is freely given to them, the authority. And this authority comes from within the inner security. Oftentimes we look for security outside of us, external things, more money, more position, more comforts and so on. But the real authority, security must come from within. And again, the need for the trust. And without this trust, one cannot be an effective disciple of Jesus, and one cannot fulfill the mission that He has for us. And any baptized Christian is called to be a missionary in her own sense. And in order to achieve that, we need this great trust. Now the question is it easy to trust God? Is it easy to trust God? Very difficult question, right? We may say it is necessary to trust God, that will be okay. But is it easy to trust God? Oftentimes, answer is no. It's not easy to trust God. Though we know it is logical, it is right and just to trust God, but it's not easy to trust God. Why? Because of our former and past experiences. Oftentimes we ask for something, God doesn't give. When we knock, no opening. When we seek, we are not able to find. So it is really challenging to trust God. And sometimes our prayers are not answered in the way in which we expect. So we think that God is not answering. It is talking to God is equal to talking to the wall, because the wall also doesn't respond to me and God also does not respond to me. So it becomes very challenging to trust God. But the point is, when we give a deep thought to it, it is quite right and quite logical to trust God. Because usually, whom do we trust? We tend to trust someone who is more having strength than us, or one who has more knowledge than us, right? Now, God naturally is capable of everything, right? God is all powerful. Suppose a small child is not able to open the box of something, it takes it to the father or mother, please open it for me. Because the child thinks my father or mother having more strength, so they will open for it for me. Or we ask someone who seems to be having at least more knowledge than us. Suppose you are going in a new place, you are looking for the way how to go about the bag, etc. Then you ask for the way. You will not ask for the way. One who is also passenger like you looking for a way. No, we'll go to the local shopkeepers or the policeman there. We ask for the way, and we think that that person has more knowledge about this place. So it is quite natural to trust someone who has more knowledge than us. And above all, we trust one who has real love and care and concern for us. And if your past experiences have revealed that someone does not have any care for us, concern for us, naturally we will not trust. Now apply all these things to God. God is all powerful. and God is all knowing, and God is all loving, then why can't we trust Him? So it is quite logical, quite rational, quite reasonable, and it is right and just to trust God, though oftentimes God does not respond to us, to our prayers in the way in which we want. That's why they say God always answers our prayers, but not in the way in which we expect. And the answer may be immediately granting the favors that we are asking for, or God may say, please wait for some more time, I'll give a better one. And His silence is also answer. Oftentimes we think when He is silent, He doesn't care for us. Also, we ask for a particular thing from a limited experience of the past and the present, and imagine something is good for the future. But God, who has the knowledge of all the three times, the past, present, future, naturally He will not give us which is something bad for us. Also, if God gives us all that we ask for, always, that God may be all powerful God, all knowing God, but certainly He cannot be all loving God. Because all loving God will not allow something bad to happen, and since we do not know about the future, we do not have the exact knowledge of what's going to happen to us, and basing on the knowledge of the past and basing on the knowledge of the present, we imagine something going to be good for us, so we are asking for. But God, who is loving, really caring for us, will not allow something which is going to be bad for us. Anyway, to cut the long story short, it is easy to trust God once we realize all these factors. And though it is challenging, we need to trust, rely upon Him, and trust will always gives us the strength and the courage to go ahead. Because it is not easy to be a disciple of Jesus in the real sense. For the name's sake, we can be the disciple, but to be the real disciple of Jesus is always challenging. And for that, we need the authority, the security that comes from above, and also the great trust that we need in the one who calls us. Let us think about it today.